I'm gonna steal a quote that I heard the other day. Scuba diving should be reassuringly expensive. I love that. We aren't playing pickleball here, guys. Some things should not be skimped upon. Let's talk about that in this video. Let's say you wake up one morning and decide that you want to be an airplane pilot. So you look up all the flight training schools in your area and you start researching where you should take flying lessons. Flying is a dangerous activity, so how do you choose the instructor or the school that's best for you? Do you just go to each school's website and try to find the cheapest option? Or do you look for the most reputable dive school with the highest safety record, the highest training standards, and the most experienced instructors? I wonder what a bargain bin flight school would even look like. Are you at Kmart looking for socks and the next blue light special? Or are you looking to be the most competent, badass pilot that you can be? It's the same with scuba diving. Scuba diving is inherently dangerous and expensive. And if it's something that you want to do, you should keep that in mind and do it right. So why am I making this video? Well, I sometimes feel like I need to educate the public. And this particular topic, it came up because some dude on a Facebook forum was promoting a 2-day PADI open water certification course for like super cheap, unheard of prices. And of course that started like a big debate with dive centers and real instructors. I mean, they all wanted to know what kind of open water PADI scuba course in 2 days. What would that even entail? What could you do in 2 days? So it turns out this little package he was promoting was a 2-day open water certification course for about $250, and that included accommodation for one night. He was also claiming that it's one of the best instructors in the Philippines, and that they could take groups of up to 10 students. Okay, so let me reiterate. $250 for a PADI open water certification course, finished in 2 days, and that one instructor could have 10 students in those 2 days. You can see why in this video we are gonna have our hands full. So there is a lot of issues with this debate, this topic, what this guy and many others around the world are doing. And I'll just start with the first that comes to mind. This particular guy that is creating these packages has zero knowledge of the actual dive industry. And by that, I mean he had no idea what training standards are for dive courses, what it costs a dive shop or instructor to actually do these dive courses. I mean, we got the certification to PADI, very expensive. The sanctuary fees, you have to pay the instructor a lot. There's so many, the tanks, the gear, there's so many fees and expenses into one dive course. This guy just has no idea what those are. So I went ahead and broke it down because I have my own dive shop, but I broke it down to all the minimum expenses to a training facility for one PADI open water course. And at $250 for this thing, not even including, let's just say accommodation is free, but they're including it. But anyway, basically they're gonna make about $75, and that is before this dude's commission, his markup or whatever for he's making money to do this. So obviously in this person's mind that has maybe he's an open water diver himself, I don't know. But I think it's just, he's a foreigner, he came to the Philippines, he's like, you know what? If I offer scuba diving cheaper than anybody ever, I'll get so much business, I'll make all this money, and it'll be great. But it's not like he's selling candy bars cheaper than the store next door, so he's gonna get a whole bunch of volume. There's safety issues and so many other problems here. My curiosity was, how did he find a dive shop and an instructor that was willing to do these courses for so cheap? And what did they cut out of the course to make it even possible in 2 days, an open water course, and justify, you know, basically making no money doing it for free? What does this course entail? And, you know, so obviously they cut it down to the most subpar, basic, under standards of any agency in the RSTC. And of course that brings me to the obvious second issue I have with this whole thing. If somebody comes into my shop and asks for a major discount for any of our courses, I say, sure, I'll give you a discount. What part of the course should we cut out? You know, do you want to skip the ocean part? We'll just get you certified. Yeah. What part should I cut out of the course? Anyways, there's no such thing as a 2-day course. There's no such thing. It's impossible to do PADI, open water certification, in 2 days. So this is where the education to the layman comes in. Guys, if somebody's offering this, just run away, all right? I don't care. You know, if it's cheap, be suspicious already. If it's 2 days for an open water course, just run. So yeah, 2 days is impossible by any agency standards. So I broke it down. I went over in my head, I'm like, can this be possible? How are they getting away with it? How can I make it in 2 days? I went over it in my head and on paper, and even with a very natural, easy to learn, you know, you know those kind of students that are just, they do the skills perfect the first time, you know. Easy student, fast learning, who did e-learning at home, so we don't have to do an entire day in the classroom. We just go over it a couple hours, so that saved, you know, whatever time. Even if he does the e-learning at home before he arrives, and then we do like the best possible time management by the instructor or the dive shop, and don't waste a single second during like a 12-hour day. There's still no way an instructor can thoroughly cover even the bare minimum teaching standards. It's just impossible. Let's go through that and just break it down and show you why it's actually impossible, so that you guys, if you don't know, you don't know. You need to know what you're getting into. So there's at least half a day in the classroom, usually a full day. It's pretty much a full day. You don't just want to skim over stuff. Every chapter has a test, and then there's a final test at the end. You want to make sure your students know all the chapters. There's like 15 chapters in SDI. I don't remember how many in PADI, but it's a full day in the classroom. If you do e-learning, we could cut it down to a few hours, just going over the tests and what they had problems with and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of classroom work before you even get started. For us, on the second day, you have confined water skills. You got to do 4 confined water dives. So that means we're in the pool from, our schedule is 9 o'clock to 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. So all day you're in the pool doing all 31 or however many skills you have to do underwater. Everything from clearing your mask, taking your mask off, no mask swim, you know, buddy breathing, lost regulator recovery. I have videos for all of them. You get my point. We have to get them comfortable and then mastering every single skill in the hovering position in our case. All right, there's no way to get around this either. There's no e-learning for this. You got a day in confined water, all right? Whether it's a pool or a little bay or a lake or whatever the dive center has. There's no way to get out of that. So we're already at 2 days if they pass everything. And then we have 4 open water dives they have to do once they've done everything else. And with SDI, we're only allowed to do 3 in a day. So a lot of times we'll do 1 open water on that second day if they did good in the confined water and it wasn't too long a day, they have energy, all that. We'll throw in a open water on that day just so we can get done sooner. If it's not a problem, you know, if it's, a lot of our divers are older and we don't do it. But anyway, you have to do 4 confined water dives in your open water course. And those dives are a minimum of 30 minutes apiece, minimum. That's the bare minimum standards. Of course, I like to do all the skills that we have scheduled for each dive. You know, taking your, sharing gas with somebody or losing your mat, you know, all the skills. There's not a lot of skills for each dive, but we have to do all of them. And then once they do it, what we had scheduled for that dive, we do a lot of emphasis on buoyancy control and fin control. So we'll go do until they're low on air. We'll finish the dive. We don't just do, all right, we did the bare minimum, we're done. I think they need buoyancy, actual practice, actual skills. So yeah, usually it's a 40-minute dive times 4. So that's if you crunch them in as good as possible and really fast doing it, that's three long days already. So I'm here to tell you, a 2-day dive course is impossible by any recognized standards. GUE is doing like 2-week beginner courses now, which is, it's a little, you'll be an awesome diver, don't get me wrong. And we do have master classes here, a 12-day one that includes nitrox and advanced peak performance buoyancy clinics, but we're only talking about PADI open water scuba course or any agency. There's no 2-day course, and so $250 as well. What the hell? So it leads us to wonder, what did this guy convincing this instructor or whoever, what did they leave out of their course to be able to get done in 2 days? If it was SDI, they would be banned for life. Or SSI or RAID. I mean, they're so strict on their instructors, so this is absolutely criminal. But it's whose fault is it? It is the instructor's fault, and this guy making the program and selling it to divers, because you can see their Facebook ads and all this where they're saying, you know, come dive with us, this is amazing bucket list experience, get certified as a diver, you only need 2 days, it includes accommodation, it's only $250 with accommodation. It looks attractive, you know, they got these little videos or photos of somebody gliding over a reef effortlessly with the turtles or whatever. And for somebody that's never been in the water, never seen my channel or Divers Ready or all these Flow State, all these scuba channels, they don't know what they don't know. They've never been around instructors. They don't know if the instructor's leaving out 90% of the training and standards. They don't know what to expect. It's the instructor's fault. It's not the layman. It's these guys off the street. They've never read the instructor manuals and safety and procedure and minimal standards of PADI, SDI, TDI, RAID, SSI. They don't know. They don't know. So for every side of the road pop-up junk training facility that you find around the world, and believe me, I've run into them in a dozen countries. I hope there's somebody like making a video or like this, trying to spread word to counteract that, saying you're gonna get yourself hurt. This is what you should expect from a competent, real course, real instructor. So I'm here to tell you that there is so much more to it than these little scuba factories that focus on quantity over quality. So yeah, I think I hit most of the points. It's not your guys' fault, the average Joe. It is the instructor or the dive shop manager, whoever you're talking to. It's their fault. You don't know what you don't know. They're the ones that are supposed to train you. That's what you're paying for. So get the price, get the average price around town wherever you're going, and then base it off of that. Is this way too cheap? Is this what is this? And then go in there and find out their their, I don't want to say itinerary, but their schedule for that course. Okay, this is day 1 classroom, day 2 confined water, day 3 and 4 open water. Find out what their schedule is, how they do it. Maybe you could sit there and watch one of their other courses going on. See if they're competent. Are they just like throwing some shitty gear together and all right, I'll pick you up in my little truck and we'll go out to over here, and hey, you're certified now, you're good enough. I mean, you got skills, I'll just certify you right now. I mean, you said you did it 40 years ago when you were 20. It's fine. I'll just give me money. No. Get competent training. Don't skimp out. We're not playing pickleball. We're not buying basketballs here. We're going diving. So like I said, I hope this video kind of tells you what you should expect for an open water course. I want to do, there's a lot of courses. I mean, just here at this dive center, we offer every course, almost every course that there is in recreational, technical, twin sets, side mount, you name it, we offer it. So in the future with SDI and TDI, hopefully this coming year, we're gonna make an actual video filming the actual course, start to finish, for every course that we offer. It's gonna take a long time. It's very detailed, every course, every video. But I want to educate people and tell them this is what you need to expect. If your instructor's not doing this, call them out on it and run. Okay, so watch out for that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we're also going to be coming out with videos on like how to choose an agency, all right, and how to choose an instructor, because I've made so many mistakes. I paid for Dive Master twice because I had a fake instructor. Watch out for those videos. I hope these videos are useful for you guys. Let me say it again, diving should be reassuringly expensive. So let me leave you with one last thought. Diving is like golf. The better you are, the more fun it is. Now let's get diving.